Hey everybody, it's Robby Besner from Therasage. I'm the co-founder and I'm also the device developer. And I'm here today to talk about the Thera360. I'm so excited. You know, you guys out there, the infrared sauna category has become so popular and there's many choices to have on this topic. And I know that there's questions like, what are the differences? What's the difference between the traditional hot rock sauna, the steam room, and infrared saunas? And then when you get to infrared sauna, if that's the one you want, what's the difference between the traditional cabin type saunas that you see out there and you probably have gone into or tried at one time in your life, and then the portable versions? And so today I want to really highlight what's so cool about the Thera360 portable infrared sauna and why it's different than the traditional wooden type box saunas. Probably the first thing we should start from the global view. There's a footprint that an infrared sauna will have in the room that you decide to place it in. And so what's very unique about the portable format is that it folds up. It basically, you can unfold it and fold it back up within about a minute. And that's very unique. The other thing, of course, the wooden traditional kinds, they take up a footprint. So you have to have a physical place in your room or in your home or in your basement where that's going to go. And the nice part about the Thera360, it being a portable, is that you can move it from room to room, and or you can actually simply just fold it up, put it under the bed or in the closet. And from a space saving point of view, it's super amazing. And or the flexibility if you're going away for a holiday, for a long weekend. And many of our customers over the years are so into the infrared sauna and the Thera360 that they don't want to spend a day without doing their sauna. They just don't feel right. They don't feel healthy. And that's from the popular movie stars that are our customers down to the average individual, people that have all the money in the world and are still choosing to get the portable infrared sauna as opposed to the wooden types. And so when I got dialing back maybe 10 to 15 years ago, when we first started making infrared saunas, I did make the traditional wooden type. But as a developer, I'm a very active listener. It's one of the unique qualities about Therasage as a company. We have intention when we make a particular device, but then we want to really hear back from our public, from our friends, from our customers, what they're interested in, what they really want out there. And so when we made the traditional wooden types, and we still make a traditional wooden type sauna today, what I heard was, I really need the sauna, but I have a really expensive apartment on Park Avenue in New York City, and I have all the money in the world. I can get anything that I want, but I don't have the space. So that was the first thing. I need something space saving. And then what I also heard was from other customers, I have a beautiful home in, Upper Peninsula, Wisconsin or Michigan. And I've got a basement and I've got many rooms in my home. So I don't lack the space, but I do have a challenge with the money. So that I really can't afford a $4,000 to $5,000, $6,000 wooden sauna, as some of the nicer, more expensive ones will cost. So in my mind, I had to come up with something space saving and economical. And that was really the rudimentary ideas behind my design of the Thera360 portable infrared sauna. Now, going further, some of the other really amazing features that no other portable infrared sauna, and even actually the wooden ones, can make or claim, is that our Thera360 is completely integrated. That means that every part in that sauna is replaceable. And that's super important because currently Therasage delivers our portable infrared saunas to almost 11 countries around the world. Imagine if you were someone with a chronic ailment and you lived in Indonesia or in Bali, and you called up one day and said, my sauna is not working. So within about maybe 1 to 3 minutes, we could diagnose what part you needed currently, and then I could ship that part out to you. And so you could unplug the bad part and plug in the new part and basically be sort of out of pocket for maybe 2 or 3 days. Prior to that, in all other versions of infrared saunas out there, you have to diagnose the problem. Generally, the manufacturer will say, ship that product back. So now it's a week to get the product back to my engineers, a week to repair it, and a week to get it back to you wherever you're located. So you're now 3 weeks out of pocket with a device that you basically need. It's like your lifeline. You need that every single day to feel healthy. And so one of the amazing redesigns in the Thera360 is that fact that everything is plug and play, and you have the opportunity to sort of be timeless with your journey on wellness. And our goal would be to make sure that you had continuity in your wellness journey plan. And if our Thera360 is part of that plan, we don't want you to be a day without that. So going further into the differences about and the whys in what's so important about the Thera360, there are basically four main, I call them pillars of every foundational pillars of every device that Therasage makes. And in the Thera360, the first one is that we are a full spectrum infrared sauna. And what that means for all of you that might be looking at infrared, because right now, infrared saunas is a big rage between the near frequencies and the far frequency saunas. And why is there a difference? And then that I throw in the mix about full spectrum. And so full spectrum by definition means it's sort of a page out of the playbook of nature. The way that sun delivers infrared frequencies to the earth is in a full spectrum, a full array, from 600 nanometers all the way out to around 21,000 nanometers is the way that it's measured. And so what we capture is from 600 to 14,000 nanometers. And that's pretty amazing. And so that means that you're getting the near frequency, the mid frequency, and the far frequencies in our saunas and all the other devices that we make here at Therasage. Why that's important is because basically there's something that's unique about all these frequencies that in nature and our bodies we resonate with. It's important to have all of them. If it wasn't important, then our divine designer would not have even put them on the scale for nature to deliver those frequencies to the planet and to the earth and animal and plant kingdom. And actually, dialing back to some of the research, Albert Einstein in the 40s did a thesis on the effects of sun rays, sun thermals on the planet, and said there wouldn't be life on the planet as we know it if it weren't for the infrared spectrum. That's how important infrared frequencies are to us and healing. So that being said, our portable Thera360 actually captures all the near, mid, and far frequencies and delivers them in about a 3 cubic foot cabin, soft cabin, so that you're basically, when you're in there, you're bathing in these frequencies. They're all around you. We call it the Thera360 because you're actually 360 degrees of these frequencies are all around you. And that's also something very unique. The next pillar has to do with EMF. We started doing research on electromagnetic fields more than 15 years ago, and I developed very unique ways to block and shield EMF from having that in the cabin. Why is that important? Well, we're finding out in our research that electromagnetic fields are very detrimental to health. Even the Surgeon General has made, and the WHO, the World Health Organization, have made claims about how negative EMF or electromagnetic fields are for our health. And so, and in some other studies, we've seen that EMF will excite microbials, parasites, mold, all these things that are all around us, we have inside our microbiome. And so we went about shielding and blocking EMF because my theory was that I didn't want your body to be conflicted with receiving all the beautiful frequencies of nature by being interfered with the man-made frequencies or exogenous frequencies called electromagnetic fields. In the Thera360 Plus, we also shield and block from ELF, which is extreme low frequencies, and radio frequencies. So we're carrying or caring for, shielding and blocking, protecting your body from all of these non-natural frequencies and what they might do to harm you. So, and our latest innovation is actually harmonizing technologies. So now we shield, block, and harmonize EMF, ELF, and RF signals from potentially harming the body. So once again, we're freeing up the conflict of allowing us to really soak in and enjoy all the beautiful benefits of the full spectrum infrared of Thera360 without the conflict. So now let's go further. We also pepper the inside of our saunas with special gemstones. And the ones that we're using in the Thera360 are farmed from one of the blue zones in the world where people actually live the longest. They're called centurions. And I got intrigued with that about 12 years ago. I visited 2 of the 6 blue zones on the planet because I was very intrigued with, why do people live, the average lifespan is greater than 100 years. I mean, what is the chemistry? And what I discovered was, one of the places was actually built on, the village was actually built on top of a mountain of tourmaline. And so this special tourmaline we integrate in our sauna. I import it from this blue zone in the world, just so that all of our customers can enjoy the benefits of the frequencies that are naturally coming from this stone that's farmed on our planet. And it basically protects our body from EMF. It also supports cellular healing and cellular communication. There are many, many features to the tourmaline, but we do integrate gemstones like tourmaline in our Thera360. We have natural shungite that comes from Russia. That's actually a stone that comes from outer space, from a comet. And that protects our bodies. We use natural jade stone. We use natural rose granite that actually faces the pyramid of many of the pyramids around the world. But the greatest pyramid of Giza in Egypt, the outside of that pyramid is faced with this special rose granite. So I actually travel the world collecting these different stones, precious stones that have these different frequencies, and I integrate them into our materials so that you're not just getting full spectrum infrared frequencies, but you're also getting the radiant frequencies from all these various different earth stones as I collect them around the planet. The fourth thing I want to talk about is negative ions. And so negative ions are really important. They happen in nature. Basically, we're not grounded anymore. We don't touch the earth. We wear shoes. Most of us don't hug palm trees and oak trees or walk barefoot on the grass or the beach. Especially now with it being wintertime, it's really even harder to be around nature in that way. So our bodies are all lacking the negative charge of the earth. So we're kind of, as a body battery or body energy, we're imbalanced. We're more positive than negative. And in order for us to be healthy, we need to have actually a neutral charge, the same negative and same positive charge. And so what we do in that portable sauna, the Thera360, is we bring the earth charge into the cabin. In other ways, it's called earthing technology. And so we electrically ground our units. So when you're in there, you're getting earth charge. And many of the earth elements that we incorporate in our materials, like the tourmaline, will generate negative ions. And that creates a sense of euphoria, well-being. It moves your body from a sympathetic or a fight and flight and anxious state to a parasympathetic, which would be more of a calm state. And what we noticed in our research is that when the body is calm, then anything else that you do, if you do guided meditation, if you do introduce ozone or extra oxygen, if you introduce a diffuser with aromatherapy, and or even supplementation, the body will absorb and soak in and integrate that, potentiating is another word, all of those other kinds of biohacks or stacks in a much greater way when you're in a parasympathetic or more calm state. So one of the things that we achieved with the Thera360 is actually shift you from being anxious to being calm. And there are special protocols that we've developed, like sleep protocols and weight loss protocols, and all that stuff surrounds the Thera360. And so we're happy as a development team to deliver a great product and also to deliver the best ways to use the product to achieve your health goals. I really am so happy to be here today to talk more about the features of the Thera360. We have incorporated many, many other things. We put in radiant barrier material on the inside of the sauna to create an atmospheric effect so that those frequencies are constantly circulating around you. In the Thera360 Plus, we brought in the new Tri-Light system, which is a red light and near frequency system. And there are panels that come in front, and they have dialed in a little bit more of the near frequency in our cocktail of frequencies we put inside the Thera360. It's really an amazing device. And from a therapeutic point of view, it's way more therapeutic than even the wooden types. Actually, let's spend a minute on that before we leave each other today. So what about that cabin, that soft cabin? I'm often asked, your head is out. It looks so kind of funny. In fact, sometimes I make a joke that it's like, if for those of you that used to watch I Love Lucy episodes, it would be something that would be kind of like in an I Love Lucy episode. There's little zippers where you can bring your hands out so you can multitask. And one of my friends, Dr. Joe Mercola, said, I love this portable sauna because I can get on my keyboard, I can answer all my emails, I can get on my phone and do all these things. I guess multitask is Joe's big thing. So that's one of the great things about the way the cabin is set up. But what about having the head out? That's kind of interesting to me. Well, first off, you should know that your brain and your brain cells are much more sensitive to heat than your body. And one of the frontline defenses against disease is raising your core temperature or creating what's called a false fever or a fever. Now, why is that? Because most microorganisms, most viruses, bacteria, parasites are heat sensitive. And when your core temperature, that means your body temperature, gets up to around 101 to 101.5, there's a natural die-off of bacteria and viruses. So how do I raise your body core temperature and not raise your head temperature or your brain temperature at the same time? Well, the obvious answer is having your head out. Now your head is out at room temperature, and your body I can actually elevate and hit really hard without affecting your brain temperature. So that's probably the number one reason why that soft cabin is effective. The second is some people are actually claustrophobic. They don't like feeling that sense of being enclosed. And in a cabin that's got a door, you obviously, even though many of them have glass windows, so they create that visual effect, it's not the same as having your head out. Then you can enjoy the real estate of your room, the real estate of your garden, however you position that sauna. And so that actually is comments that many of our customers have said they really, really love about it. A third factor is one of the very high-end biological dentists named Dr. Jerry Curatello. Jerry said, Robby, I love the sauna. I'll tell you why. Because many of my patients still have dental amalgams, and an amalgam has metal in it. And when you heat up metal, it expands, and then when it cools off, it contracts. Well, what's unique about the amalgams that might be in your mouth are that when they expand and contract, there's also an off-gassing of the mercury. And then your body is basically getting this mercury gas inside, and it's creating a higher level of mercury absorption in your tissues, which we've all known to be very detrimental to health. So Jerry got on stage one day and he said, boy, this portable sauna is the answer, because I can detox the heavy metals from my body and not add more toxic metal or mercury in the off-gassing by that expansion or contraction of the metals in the mouth. So that's the third reason. The fourth reason, which is a little less important, but still important, when you're inside a cabin and you're sweating, we all see those major drops. And there's been studies on this where they actually measure a drop of sweat from an individual in a hot rock sauna, a steam room, and an infrared sauna. And there's 85% more toxins in that same drop of sweat from that same individual in the infrared sauna, because we mobilize those toxins, and sweating is one of the most efficient ways to get the poisons out of the body. Well, when you're in an enclosed cabin, you can see the big droplets. That's easy, and you can use a towel and wipe them off you. What about all the micro droplets, the little mist that's in the air? You know that one of the easiest ways to get poison into the body is by breathing it. Well, here you are, you're in the sauna and you're in the cabin and you're working hard to get these poisons out, right? And then you're breathing them back in the micro droplets of the air that's in the mist in that room. With your head out, of course, now you're breathing fresh air. And you won't be retoxing or recapturing those toxins that we're trying so desperately hard to get out. So those really are the four main reasons why we developed this portable infrared sauna. Thank you for joining me today. I really enjoyed having this opportunity to tell you about the Thera360. I'm so excited about the Thera360 regular and the Thera360 Plus, and I can't wait to see you on our next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Healthy Hotline today, hosted by Robby Besner. To learn more about Therasage, as well as get a discount on your next purchase for being a listener of the show, go to Therasage.com and enter Healthy Hotline at checkout. That's one word, Healthy Hotline, to get a special discount on your next Therasage purchase. Subscribe to the Healthy Hotline on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you in the next episode.